Hello, everybody. Hello. This is Star Trek Adventures. And we have Minnie the Mouse. Minnie the Mouse. Yeah. And she's actually glowing from all the lights on the bridge. We are Tabletop Anthologies. This is Star Trek Adventures. Welcome. We are starting a new scenario today. The title of that scenario is called The Whole of the Law. And it has been a moment since we've last played. So once your captain comes back from the head, can't even hear him.
I'm here.
There he is. We will get started. We'll go a quick round with little introductions and such, and then we'll go. So Captain Maricadi, welcome back, sir. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing quite well, Admiral. Happy to be back in the bridge. Although it was quite fun to play some peons down on the field and have Forlos boss me around. I'm kind of sick and tired of it, frankly.
Nice. Good.
I'm sitting
Good.
pretty.
Okay. Well, hey, listen. Your seat's warm. Everybody sat in it while you were gone. They tried their chances, Captain. You know, there's no jokes that were played. Nothing. So don't worry about it if you find anything. Our science officer, Vulcan, who Vulcan't, Commander Kullat. How you doing, sir?
Feeling very logical today, Admiral. Do a lot of thought problems and come to reasonable solutions.
Does he sound quiet for anybody else?
A little quiet. He said thought problems, and my head went a different direction.
Okay. Good. Well, good. Lieutenant Commander Zemtak Thrall, flying the ship from here and there, yeeting the aliens onto the planet and getting us out. How are you, sir?
Why, I am doing just fine, thank you for asking. My day has gone quite well, and I'm ready to get back on the bridge and do what we have to.
Does the Lieutenant Commander have a new insight towards fighting things like spiders and such, or is he still a little bit of a pacifist?
Oh, I've always understood, since joining the fleet, that sometimes things like that is necessary. However, it's in my nature to, not hurt things that live or breathe.
Good. That's a good hill to stand on, Lieutenant Commander. Proud of you. And with your goat-like hands, since you're a Grazerite, hills to climb are pretty easy. Over to engineering, where nothing ever goes wrong, and he always has and runs a tight ship, Lieutenant Commander Kaval, our Andorian.
I'm glad to be back. We have been in dry dock, presumably, for an extensive amount of time. It's good to feel, to get my space legs back.
And I see your antenna. They've been hidden. Is it a holodeck? Did the doctor do some sort of surgery?
Hey, man, stop being a bitch. You know it's because of the green screen.
Wow.
And
sorry, didn't mean to break the fourth wall for Captain Maricadi.
Yeah, thank you. Jeez. I need to be completely immersed.
has something to do with somebody sitting in his chair, I think, because he's just still sour about that. And last but not least, someone who still has yet to clean his med bay, which might be a problem for bacteria and things. Our Chief Medical Officer, Lieutenant Andal Grax.
Hello, Admiral.
Hello. Could you sense what I was about to say, being a Betazoid?
Yes, precisely.
Good. How's med bay going?
It's going very well. learned a lot of new things about those new species that we encountered on the last mission.
So they were purple, weren't they? With like purplish hair?
Yes, they seem to have some sort of biomechanical links that were common to their species.
Yeah. And I'll refrain from adding PG-13 and R comments about the purple aliens. So we can begin. So, we find ourselves here in the Shackleton Expanse still. And, again, the title of this scenario is called The Hull of the Law. It is actually one of Modiphius's scenarios. So, with that, I will we'll start the game off with the captain, and he can give us the captain's log.
Captain's log, star date 51914.4. The USS Surprise has been exploring the Shackleton Expanse for over 8 months. Currently, we're charting the system of the Red Dwarf Star. These are my favorite stars in terms of aesthetic, and are quite rare, at least in our explorations, so I do hope we'd spend plenty of time embracing the hue. The crew, however, have already begun recording and need a break, so we're expecting to shack up either at the nearest life station or planets.
He really is Kirk. He wants to shack up with the nearest life form.
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna
Damn
say
it.
it.
So that brings up a question for you, Chief Medical Officer. Does he have a lot of ointments and antibiotics on hand to
I hope
tackle
so.
those sort of problems?
That's standard issue.
Okay, good. Anything else with your captain's log, sir?
I've been feeling rather tense recently, and I hope that this break can ease some old wounds.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
Not at the moment.
So, since we kind of were trying to do it a little differently, do you understand what he was saying in the captain's log, basically kind of how your mission is starting out?
We're studying a red dwarf.
You are starting a red dwarf system. So,
Dread dwarf.
Dread dwarf. So, whatever things entail when charting and studying a system. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
Sure. So at this time, I kind of walk out of my quarters. I kind of gaze around at the bridge and notice everyone kind of at their stations, doing their own thing. But they stand at attention as I walk in, I presume, unless, I'm not going to do that. Please, please don't make me do it, but there is a break on the ship. I'm not afraid to use it. I check my chair. I rest at ease. Captain is sitting on the bridge. That's what you were doing?
Yeah, it was he was calling everybody to attention.
Oh dear.
Captain on bridge. Captain on bridge.
So, how is everyone?
We're doing well. But, Captain, if you don't mind, I'd like to suggest that maybe the crew needs a bit of a break. I've sensed that tensions are a bit high, if I'm speaking openly and honestly.
But don't we have a mission to get to, Andal? Don't we have the ever pursuit of knowledge? What good would a break do to our crew?
Well, the mental health of our crew is very important. And hard work can't be done without a healthy mind. Just something to keep in mind.
No, you're right, Andal. I do like the color of this star. It would be nice to relax a bit. Why don't we scan the system for any life signs? Do we have any signals, any warp technology in the area, warp signatures? I look at Kullat. Commander Kullat?
Sir,
Will you scan around the solar system, please?
I do a scan of the system of this star.
Okay. So you just, what are you scanning for then?
He just said life signs.
Or warp
Okay.
signatures?
Yeah,
Either
you
or.
guys are currently your ship is currently just outside of the system, so
Both.
a good distance away from the star and the whole system. So everything right now is considered long-range scans.
Cool.
So I scanned for any non-natural signatures.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a reason and reason and science. And Commander or Captain, ship sensors and science, please. This will be a difficulty of 2, complication range of 2.
I'd like to use a focus of astrophysics because I would use my knowledge of astrophysics to be able to determine what would be less of a natural phenomenon out in the astros.
Okay.
Admiral,
the-
I want to point out that the ship does have high-resolution sensors, which would give us a momentum on a successful assist by the ship.
So you have 2 momentum. What are we doing with it?
Kullat.
I would use one for extra information and bank the other one.
Okay.
Nice.
And that information is going to be sent to you.
I saw your cat's head pop up. A little bit
I
of
could see it on my screen that yours.
Everybody else did.
Ensuring the smooth operation of the engine room.
How's the hum? Is it within proper frequency?
Yeah, sounds pretty good. You know, I have to say I agree with the good doctor, with the first lieutenant. I was thinking we could go maybe to Mos Eisley. I hear that's a fun place to go.
As the GM, I would like to say that there's not a more wretched villain and scum.
Who hurt you? Just
It might have to do with his Andorian nature. He just likes to fight. You know?
That's true.
It's
He would hang out there. Captain, I have some preliminary readings.
On screen. Right.
I've detected a few gas giants, Class J. There are some rocky bodies that have no atmosphere, Class D.
Mhm.
There is one Class Y planet,
Hmm.
which, as we all know, is a demon planet.
Oh,
Says,
of course.
says the readout.
A
I'll
demon
explain that in a
planet?
second. Yeah, I'll explain that in a
Demon
second. You
planet?
guys,
Oh.
yeah, you guys should know. Well, Forloth, you
I
might.
guess
You
we
should
are
know.
going to Mos Eisley. Here there's a lot of sand.
Toxic atmosphere. Gotcha.
Yes.
But interestingly, there's
Size.
an asteroid-sized body of unusual shape and extremely high density located right in the habitable zone of the star. And I am getting some faint warp signatures in this area. That heading is 03 Marc 232.
Very well. Thrall, you heard the man, and you got the coordinates. Why don't you take a sub-warp impulse, kind of scoot around the. Of course, once we actually get within the solar system, take us into Impulse and see if we can see this asteroid. Maybe a few AU off.
On it, Captain.
Thank you, sir.
So, Lieutenant Commander, you're going to be taking us into short range then of this object or asteroid?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, sir. Go ahead and give me a control and con, difficulty of 2, also a complication range of 2, and then ship engines and con, please, Captain. And while they're doing that roll real quick, for those of you who don't remember, Class Y planets are basically planets that were characterized by their toxic atmosphere, their sulfuric deserts, surface temperatures kind of exceeding 500 Kelvin, and along with the radiation and stuff. So generally they eat up probes and have a tendency to destroy starships on entry and such. So that's what a Class Y planet is. And they are standard. And they are normal. So the more you know.
So, like Florida?
Yes. So take your sunscreen. All right. So we have 1 momentum, sir. What would you like to do with it?
Let's get there a little faster.
A little faster? Okay. And I won't do that, but I will do this.
Oh, we died?
Yeah, everybody but the doctor. Thank you for the follow. Tex. I think I'm saying it right. And thanks for the bonus die, Preacher. Don't forget, crew, you guys have a bonus die for Officer Speaking. So I think that's going to be for whoever would like it. Yes. So you now are within short range of this asteroid or disc-shaped object. Obviously, the star is closer in your view screen, a little bit bigger. So here we are.
Very good. Communications. Who's on communications? Is it Kullat? You standing over there? Who's at communications?
Yeah, Kullat can do it. Turd can do it. It's
Sure.
really whoever wants to.
Tech Thrall, open up short range hailing. Set all frequencies.
Yes, Captain.
Cool. Is it open? Then.
I don't know. Well, I was waiting to see.
Is this thing on? Ding, ding. No, you're good.
Okay, so you're gonna do some hailing frequencies. Then, are you just doing? Tell me how you're doing this, Lieutenant Commander. Is it just an open channel? Are you targeting something specific?
Other than the general direction of the object, no. There's no specific area that we need to hail from. Where it's an open space.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a control and con. Difficulty of 2. Also complication range of 2. Captain, go ahead and give me communications and con, please.
You got it. We got the momentum if you want to use it. Or do we? Actually.
Make sure. Well, roll your ship first. So
Yep.
you do have 2 successes, no momentum with that. But I believe it requires 2 momentum to take a complication away. Let me
It
double check.
does. I believe you're right.
Where's my momentum? Just for a real quick looky. Yep, 2. It costs 2. Okay. So you have a bit of a complication. So you send your hail out, and when it goes out, you seem to get quite a few responses, and they seem to jam up the communications array on the ship, almost like it's getting too many at once. Maybe it's that, but it's probably not that, because this is a pretty sophisticated ship, so we know how to, list incoming calls. But maybe there's just a little bit of static. You're not sure what the issue is.
Captain Maricadi, we're running into some interesting obstacles here. It seems like we are receiving some hails from the disk. However, we can't receive any of the calls. It seems as though our communications array has malfunctioned in some way. But yes, there's a myriad of active communication lines being sent back to us.
And Captain, before you respond, this kind of makes you a little bit frustrated with that complication. Maybe a little less patient.
Did you try turning it off and try to turn it back on?
I'm sorry, Captain. I really I didn't think it was a user error. However, it may very well could have been. Let me try it again. Let me try it again.
Just try to focus.
Hold on. Let me try it again.
Okay.
So you're trying it again there, Lieutenant Commander?
If I can, yeah.
Sure. Are you doing anything different?
Yeah, I reset the communications line and clear the cache.
Okay.
Delete the cookies.
Delete the cookies. All right, same thing, sir. Control and Conn, difficulty 2, complication of 2, and ship assist. Same thing. Okay.
Alrighty. I think I'm going to use that momentum if that is okay with the rest of you gentlemen.
You
Absolutely.
can put the bonus side. Either or. Nice. Put it right back. Let's go. Look at that.
So-
Look at that.
You have 2 momentum. What would you like to do with those momentum?
I'd like to spend 1 on effectiveness and bank 1.
Okay. So maybe it was to clear the cache or the cookies. Maybe it has to do with whatever the captain was looking up on the internet prior to. There was probably some viruses or something like that. But doing so and then resending the hail open frequencies back out, the system seems to get quite a few in response. Not only a response from this awkward-shaped asteroid or object, but you get another one from a Ferengi vessel, a Klingon vessel, and then 2 other unknown vessels to the Starfleet database.
What?
Captain Maricadi, I'm going to be sending you a list of all of the communications we just received. It's a lot more than I thought. If there's any way, I'm gonna beam him like a screenshot of it.
Yeah, you could.
Well,
You tap in it because he's got his own little terminal next to his cushiony seat.
Huh. So how many am I looking at here? Is like
So you're looking at 1 from the asteroid shaped object or awkward shaped object, 1 from the Ferengi vessel, 1 from a Klingon vessel,
Right.
and then 2 more from unknown vessels in the Starfleet database.
but On our scanners, Kullat, Commander Kullat, this can't be right. Are we getting anything on our sensors as far as any ships in the short range?
I had some warp signatures. Let me do another scan to see if I can find the source of these signals.
And Tech Thrall, pull us a little farther back away from this thing.
Sure.
Okay.
Beep, beep, beep.
Am I clear? Okay. So I'm gonna ask for 2 rolls. Commander Kullat. So reason and science, ships, sensors and science, difficulty 2, complication range 2.
I'd like to use a focus of warp engines. So if I had warp signatures, I could use that knowledge to try and trace them back to their source.
Sure. And then while they're doing that, Turg, Commander Tech Thrall, since you're backing this old lady up, from you, your con rolls. So control and con, please. And then Commander Maricadi, it'll be engines and con, difficulty 2, complication range 2.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So, real quick, Captain, I also need a sensors and science roll, please. One dice.
Die.
Thank you. Captain?
Sorry, what?
Did somebody put something in his coffee? I need a ship
Don't shed
ship
your
roll.
myself.
Sensors and science, please. One dice. Die.
Gotcha.
Boom.
Sensors and science.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So, Commander Kullat, first and foremost. You get your results, but you also seem to be finding yourself focusing a little bit more on your Vulcan abilities to not so much control anger, but maybe control some frustration, perhaps. But your results do tell you that there is in fact a Ferengi vessel, a Klingon vessel, two vessels that you do not know, and then some sort of signature. It's not warp, it's warp-like, also emanating from this oblong object that looks possibly like an asteroid. I don't know if we know what it looks like.
They're all
Yeah.
coming from
In that area,
No.
just in the area. So, like, each is kind of around. You got your object, they're all around the area. But, kind of like you guys are, but a little closer. And before you respond, Lieutenant Commander, you have 2 momentum. What would you like to do with it?
I'd like to spend 1 on effectiveness and bank 1.
Okay. So you have no problem backing this girl up. And so you kind of back off, kind of like the captain says and asks you to. Commander Kullat,
Yeah.
the floor is yours.
Captain. I am reading some ship signatures. I'm having some difficulty zeroing in on them, but they do appear to be surrounding the oddly shaped object ahead of us.
Okay, so they are showing up on scans then. I was worried for a moment they might have been something strange, but what do you think? What are we looking at?
Well, all we know for certain is that there are ships out there. They are giving out readings, so they're at least partially functional.
Do they seem to have noticed us? Can you tell?
You asking me?
I'm just asking. I don't know, I'm just asking. guess.
You don't know, because that would be a roll.
Admiral,
Fair
what's our current relationship with the Klingon Empire? Federation.
You guys are they're in the Federation, so you guys are at peace. You're part of Starfleet.
And the Ferengi? Neutral party?
So this is about the time, I believe, when Nog became the first Ferengi in Starfleet. It's neutral. You know, they're still kind of like the pests of the galaxy per se, but Nog is the first Starfleet officer.
Captain, if I may make a recommendation,
Go ahead.
as fellow Federation partners, should we perhaps reach out to the Klingon vessel first and ask if we can lend assistance without getting too close?
Sure, we'll hail the. That makes complete sense. We'll hail the Klingon vessel and get a status on the situation.
Thanks for the bonus
Click.
die, Judge Wolf. That's actually for specifically, and I quote, Forloth's stupid, handsome face.
Wow.
So what exactly? To make it more stupid or to make it more handsome?
Why not?
Depends on the dice roller. Officer Spankin. Captain, you were saying, sir?
Tech Thrall, let's hail the Klingon vessel.
Yes, Captain, I will hail the Klingon vessel for the third time.
Yeah. You weren't hailing the Klingon vessel, you're hailing everything in the short range. Like I told you to, I'm just saying.
I do it.
You ready, Tech Thrall?
I was born ready.
Oh, hit me with a good time. Control and Conn, difficulty 2, complication 2. Captain, please. Communications and Conn, 1 die.
You said what in Conn, sorry?
Communications and Conn, please.
Okay.
Communications and Conn. Okay, 1 momentum. Tech Thrall, what would you like to do?
I guess increase effectiveness of the broadcast of the call. Yeah.
Okay. So you hail the Klingon vessel,
Incoming transmission.
and you receive that. Sound go out for you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Incoming whatever message.
Incoming transmission.
Transmission.
Yes.
Oh, transmission. On screen.
Yeah, here.
Yes.
There you go.
Incoming transmission.
There it is again.
This is Captain Maricadi of USS Surprise. Who am I speaking with?
So on the screen is a Klingon in his standard, his standard getup, his standard battle rattle, if you will, and he's looking at you. And let me find it here. Here we are. One other thing.
Clink, clink, clink.
There it is. Okay. And I'm Captain Kargan. Starfleet, how many times must I hail you before I get a response?
3 times.
The object was interfering with our communication systems. What's the status of this? Speaking of that, what's the status of this asteroid? Why are you out here?
Kind of looks at you awkwardly. Asteroid.
The object that you're surrounding in space.
The object? You're referring to the dome?
The dome.
Perhaps you should teach your officers how to use their sensors in scanning. It is a pleasure planet. And he clicks off.
Oh,
I don't know if I should be frustrated or...
were we looking for some R&R, Captain?
Scaroused.
Do we have families on this vessel? Like, what kind of pleasure are we talking about? Is this family-friendly pleasure or not? It's a fun park. All right.
Seems as though we'll have to figure that out. Captain.
Seems as though we'll have to figure that out. Yep. I'll be on the OA team this time. Pleasure Planet. Kullat, knowing this information, it's a dome, it's a circle. Can we hone in a little bit on this Pleasure Planet?
Would I be able to scan maybe the place can be hailed itself? I mean, if it's some sort of...
Check its license plate.
I would imagine if people come here for it being a pleasure planet, that could be reached directly.
Oh yeah.
Can I scan to see if they've got like a...
They got a receptionist.
a receptionist?
You're just
Or would
checking
that
to
be
see
like
if they
a
have the...
communication?
Well, it depends. Like, are you scanning the object itself, or are you trying to send a hail?
I'd scan it to see if I think it would receive a hail.
Yeah, okay. Give me a reason and science, difficulty 2, complication range 2, captain. Sensors and science, please.
Roger. Oh. Should I have only done one die?
Say again? Yeah, it's alright. It's the first dice. I'll check
So,
it out.
yeah. No success.
1 momentum, sir.
For extra scanny goodness and information.
Scanning goodness and information. So, as you're scanning this vessel, you do receive an image on the sensors, but also there seems to be some heavy shielding that prevents a lot more detailed scans, at least what you're trying to accomplish. However, from the outside, the exterior, there are hundreds of numerous docking bays or landing fields also seem to be covered or sheltered in that heavy shielding. So quite possibly could receive hails.
Captain, it is set up to receive other vessels. There's heavy shielding that blocks me from getting deeper information on it. However, we might try hailing them directly.
Sure. You heard the man, Thrall. Let's try the third time.
And Zem says, fine, I'll just scan him again. I'll call him again, shall I?
It's about right. So, Thrall, control and Conn, captain, communications and Conn. Difficulty 2, complication range of 2. Thank you, sir. So you are successful. And when you are successful, you do receive a hail.
Incoming transmission.
On screen.
On screen. Oh, look at you. I'm proud of you. That. All right. Let me bring them up, please. On the screen is this alien. Okay? Did you guys see it? Did it pop up for you? And I'll
Yes.
switch the.
Is this a
the
crossover
screens.
episode? Isn't she from Farscape or something?
Yeah, I think so. I was looking for an alien, and she did what I was looking for.
Just making sure.
Nice,
So
ladies.
on,
Nice.
on your screen is this alien, and it's a blue-skinned, hairless, humanoid female. As she begins to talk, the universal translator seems to be having issues, but it does kick in, and I'm just gonna give this one more shot, and y'all can tell me when it's distorted, because it'll probably be distorted. Okay?
Okay.
Greetings, travelers from the United Federations of Planets. I am Vishorasa, and I welcome you to this haven, which you may call Valema. I request that you discontinue your efforts to scan our interior, for though all are welcome here, we take the privacy of our guests most seriously. If you wish to know more of the services we offer, please send a delegation in person so that we may arrange proper access for your crew. You may land a shuttle at Docking Bay 94. You may also transport a party there, although we don't allow transporter access to the interior of the Lema. But please do come for a visit. We offer wondrous entertainment and fulfillment for all visitors. I just saw that. Son of a nutcracker.
It's probably distorted anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm distorted, aren't I? Is it? Greetings, travelers from the United Federations of Planets. I am Asa, and I welcome you.
There.
Sounds kind of like the TikTok voice.
Wait, don't stop.
I think
was
it's
starting to
I think
enjoy
it's
that.
less static on stream.
Don't stop. I won't stop. I
Don't
won't
stop.
Don't stop. I won't stop. I won't stop.
You know,
Too
she kind
legit.
of
Too
when,
legit to stop.
Don't
when the
stop.
Andorian says "don't stop," she perks an eyebrow that doesn't exist.
So she's sitting there.
We're the USS Surprise, and we're in some desperate need of pleasure.
Yikes.
Oh my god. I would have said in my brain, my prepubescent brain, but instead, thank you for this introduction. I'm Captain Maricadi aboard the USS Surprise of Starfleet. Your offer sounds very generous, and we'd happy to sample some of your options available. Now,
Captain, are you speaking to the pre-recorded message?
yeah. I click it, and then I get up. I think we all need a little bit of a break, don't you think?
Yeah. Where would you like me to go, Captain?
Why don't you? Are we able? Engineering Cabal, are you down there? Listen, we're gonna need you to figure out real quick whether or not we can beam down a party to the. It looks like Hangar 94. I don't know. I'm sending you the instructions from the
Captain,
thing.
Captain.
From the message.
Right away,
yes.
Captain.
Yes.
As you may recall, I just stated you may land a shuttle at Docking Bay 94.
Shuttle. Gotcha.
Or send a transport party there.
Gotcha.
A delegation, if you will.
Sure.
Which do you prefer, Captain? Shall I prep a shuttle, or do you want to beam down?
Let's find out if we're able to lock onto targets in the dome. Are you able to test the frequency from here if we're able to beam in and out?
She said no beaming further in. We would only be able to beam to the bay.
To the bay. Gotcha. All right. Let's beam. No. Let's shuttle down. We'll bring some samples from where we at. You know, we'll offer some cuisine. Who knows? That's
Bring some wine
I love
coolers.
food. I love food. You know.
And she's
who
still
knows?
sitting up there as you're saying all this.
We look forward to your visit, and I promise that you will have an exquisite time.
And the screen disappears. So she was enjoying the fact of the open mic and everything else.
Nice. Wait, so she wasn't pre-recorded?
No. That was live.
Damn it, Kullat!
What'd I do?
Tech Thrall is what got me.
Kullat likes to party.
No, I'm
Oh,
so
it
I'm
was
very
us, wasn't it? Sorry.
so I'm very visibly flush. Like this wasn't just me behind the scenes. I think in general I'm very visibly flushed.
Doesn't take much.
Yes. Okay, big guy. All right. So for our delegation, who wants to go? we probably should take this at least some seriously. We don't know the situation, and we don't want to go into a trap or anything hostile. So we definitely want to bring one of our security officers on board to make sure that we're as safe as we can be. But I think this could be a good opportunity to let loose a little bit, as long as it isn't too outlandish as far as I don't know what to expect, frankly.
I would like to join you, Captain. If that is all right.
Of course. No, you can come aboard. I think having a doctor there would be very beneficial, as well as a Betazoid.
We are receiving a signal telling us to dock at Bay 94 if we are going to proceed.
Very good. Send them an approval, a docking. Well, now that we've got the docking request, we'll send them a confirmation. We will be there, and we'll send a shuttle.
RSV,
Valet.
please. Pleasure Planet. Got it.
Yeah. To do valet. Very good then. So, Admiral, excuse me, I'm gonna go get ready, so I'm gonna recede back to my private chambers. Who's my LO or my XO?
You never designated one.
Weird.
Well, surely it's Kullat purely from rank.
Yeah, Kullat is the new XO. Kullat, you have the bridge and my heart.
Of course, Captain.
I'm sorry, this star is just affecting me in peculiar ways. I kind of enjoy this feeling.
Well, Captain, if it's okay with you, I would like to join you as the only other combat-trained member of this crew.
Of course. You're welcome aboard the shuttle. This will be a fine delegation.
So who's going,
Tech
Captain?
Technology, you want to come?
I would also like to join. This seems like a feat of technological engineering that I might study further.
We can send down the bridge crew. I think that makes a good, capable team.
Well, who's staying behind on the bridge?
The second
Yes, I am not a very hedonistic person by nature. The old roar of the engine's what I love. I'll stay here.
So, real quick, Thrall. One of your values is curiosity. And I'm about to,
Yeah, punk ass.
I'm gonna challenge that curiosity. I'm gonna challenge that value real quick. So, this isn't really something we've done yet, in terms of the game. I've been waiting for different opportunities to spring these on you. But basically, what happens is, you're deciding right now not to go. I want you to go.
Okay.
So you can comply with this value, you can go against your value, and suffer. What's the word? So sorry, let me get it right. You challenge the value directive, basically saying, you know what, I'm not as curious as I thought I was. And you've tested that belief. You found that it's less important to you than you believe. So you're going to get a point of determination, and then you won't go.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, you go with what I'm asking you to.
Is he cutting out for anybody else?
He is, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Is that better?
Keep talking.
Hi. So challenging values. Am I cutting out now still?
Not really.
Well, then
Okay.
would it be better if I stayed on board, just so we had one of the one of the senior members of the crew. I was down on the planet last mission.
Hey, we're going to a pleasure planet. Let the junior
Thrall,
grades.
it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. We'll let the lieutenants take the bridge.
So real quick, Turg, am I cutting out still? Do I sound okay?
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
It didn't sound like you're cutting out.
You can either challenge the value yourself, saying, you know what, it tested my belief. It's less important than I thought so, or you can go with what I'm saying. And if you don't want to use it, you'll gain a point of determination and suffer a complication, or you comply with your value, but also gain a point of determination.
You know what? I've changed my mind. I can't, as a lieutenant commander, I cannot in good faith leave all of you to go into this potentially dangerous inhabitants without some overwatch. So right, I will go with I'll go with you.
Thrall, you can just say you want to go. That's fine.
No.
Yes, come,
No.
my friend. Come be our Overwatch. We need you.
So, Admiral, is this okay? Can the entire bridge crew go down?
Yeah, captain's orders. Captain does all that. You would have normal replacements that take your spots, and they're generally also other lieutenants, maybe some commanders, maybe some ensigns. You know, because you guys aren't there all the time, so there are shifts,
Right.
and you guys do cycle in and out, and they're all trained and they can handle things properly.
And then I'll say to the bridge crew the new bridge crew before we leave, don't scratch it.
Just washed and waxed this thing.
Yeah. If I see any miles on that speedometer, or that odometer, I swear to God.
Admiral, there's a question in chat about how much crew is on the ship.
On a Norway class ship, there's about 190 crew. Real quick, Lieutenant Tack Thrall, on your character sheet, give yourself a point of determination.
Nice.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay, so bridge crew, you guys are shuttling down. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes, we're shuttling down. We're gonna bring some things from the, is it a fabricator? Materializer? What is it called? The food fabricator? Food
The
replicator.
Yeah. One of the words.
Actually, we're scuttling down like a bunch of crabs.
I want to bring down spaghetti and meatballs. I want to bring down Kentucky fried steak. Or country fried steak, whatever it is. And then I want to bring down a cheeseburger.
What is happening right now?
A single cheeseburger.
Apparently he's bringing gifts to share the culture of planet Earth, aka America.
just Americanized food. Jeez.
A handful of fettuccine, if you will.
And tacos, and we're gonna bring ramen noodles, and we're gonna bring just as Americanized as possible.
Okay, so you guys get into one of your standard shuttles. Tack Thrall, baby, you're taking him in. Since you are flying, sir, give me a control in Conn. Captain Maricadi, engines in Conn, please. Difficulty of 2. No more complications. Range. And I'll tell you why in a minute.
Engines and Conn.
0 successes, so 2. And so you have no trouble flying the ship down to the docking bay. Go ahead and tell me about your style, Lieutenant Commander. How do you get that shuttlecraft in?
I approach the planet slowly and enter the bay with seemingly no issues.
So you guys land your shuttle, and the hatch opens up. And waiting to greet you is a gentleman, and let me get my other screen up real quick so the folks at home can see. And you guys are going to recognize him, but this is really the look I was going for, so just deal with it. View character artwork. Same hood, basically, but this is what he looks like.
Gotcha.
Ah!
Okay. So that's what he looks like.
Is
So
there
these are
any?
male of the species? As far as
I
we
heard-
know, these are the male of the species. That was the
As far-
female. This is the male of the species.
I mean, that's probably what you're assuming right now, yes.
Do we hear any tense music when he appears?
No, you don't.
Boss battle music starts.
No, you don't. So, again, you guys arrived to Docking Bay 94, and as you exit the ship, it's a wide, flat docking area. It's got a bit of a retractable kind of roof, and you're standing directly on the outer edge of this disc. So you guys now know it's a bit of a disc shape, and it's balanced vertically on its edge. Below you, basically. So you guys are kind of sitting on it like this. But you feel full gravity upon arrival. And standing in that area is the gentleman. He's wearing a comfortable, loose white garment with a brightly colored abstract pattern on the shoulders. And as you walk out, we're going to try this again. Try this again.
Wilkinson, Vulcan and Greetings United Federation of Planets. I am called Sub-Director Halasor. Come be escorted, Director Vince Horaza.
And he kind of holds his arm out, and behind him, a tram-like shuttle appears, and the doors open up like on a DeLorean. You know how they kind of come up, and inside you see a very welcome and inviting train ride.
And I say as an aside to the captain, this isn't going to be one of those things where, you know, like Old Earth Singapore, if you spit chewing gum on the floor, they're going to beat the soles of your feet with a cane, something like that.
I just say stick to their rules and hope for the best.
And so he hears you say that, and
I said it as an aside. Come on.
oh, he's got pretty good ears. And so he looks at you, and he's
Tenants, Lieutenant Commander, do as you wish. We have anyone and everyone that will pick up and clean up after you. It is our desire that you enjoy yourselves while you are visiting the Malema.
I hear you. Blue to blue. I feel you.
Blue to blue.
Am I picking up any sort of emotions or anything from him? I'm not really trying to, pry into his mind, but just I would get his feelings possibly.
Yeah, so that doesn't require a roll. So you do, and everything about the layman, I guess if that's what we want to call him, is he's here to serve. He's here to make sure you're happy and content. But he's also, waiting for you guys to get on board. It's not so much of a dictated like, let's fucking go. I got things to do. It's just more of a, I have welcomed you. You are now to politely step on board kind of thought. Like he's done this before numerous times.
Did he give a name, or did I miss that?
He did, but the voice changer might have kind of covered it up. His name is his title is Subdirector, and his name is Hamasor.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I would just be kind of following the captain at this point.
Yeah, and in front of us, as far as like, he's just giving us full reign to just kind of do whatever we want and enjoy ourselves. Is basically what he's saying.
He's telling you to get on board the tram.
All right, getting on the tram. What does the inside of this thing look like? Is it just like a human tram or like an alien tram?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of room for movement in case you have weird-looking aliens, with tentacles or, other stuff.
Adaptable.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's very, very plush. When each of you walk in, there is an odor that immediately hits your nose, and it hits each of you differently, and it almost causes a bit of a nostalgic memory from back home. But he gets on last after you all do get on, and when you do, the door shuts, and immediately this tram just shoots off. And for you guys, it wouldn't feel like anything's even going on. It doesn't even feel like you guys started moving. But the windows on the sides obviously tell you that they are. And on the one side is just the space. And on the other side, you see all these different environments within this dome just fly by you. And the Hamasor looks at you, and he kind of looks around and...
Is everyone comfortable?
Yes.
Yes. I'd say so, yeah.
This scent in the air, can you tell me what this is? It seems so familiar.
It is part of the environment here on Vilema. We have different computer systems that help us understand you to better provide a more pleasurable experience.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
And has Thelema always resided in this system?
We have been here for several thousand years. Obviously, I've only been here several hundred. But my ancestors helped build this, and it has been here since.
You guys are understanding me, correct?
Yes.
Okay. He looks over to the fellow blue man.
Where do you people originate from? You clearly are not all the same species.
You people.
We're all members of the Federation, my blue brother. Do we do we see anyone else around besides the natives of this planet?
So the tram is going pretty fast, but as you're catching glimpse of all the different environments, you do see that it is quite populated in what looks to be more like specks of people moving about. But yeah, there do seems to be other people on the inside, not in the tram. It's just U5 and Hamasor.
Do we recognize any other Federation members?
Not from this tram, no.
And how many of these natives do we see about? Is he the only one we've seen?
The only other one was the one on the view screen, and that was the female named Visurasa.
Have we seen anyone else on this planet?
Not from where you're at so far, no. Just the environments as you pass them. You do see other species down in those environments, but you can't tell what's going on. You can't tell what's what they're doing, because it is moving around this rather large structure at a high rate of speed.
Understood.
So, the tram comes to a halt, and Hamasaur steps out, and he kind of waves his arm forward in an open motion, allowing you all to come out and into an office-like area. But he doesn't say anything.
I would step out. Is there anyone here in this area?
Yeah, so as you step out, there are two more. They look to be like almost like servants standing outside this door. They kind of have loose-fitting garb. They are very muscular, attractive to the eye, possibly well-oiled as well, you know, to provide that visually appeasing appearance. Both what look to be male and female of this species standing there. But they just they're smiling at you, and they're standing at the entrance. And one of them does open the door and welcomes you to the interior.
Thank you. What is this place?
Please, come on in, and you can speak to our director, Visorasa. She will explain to you and answer any question you might have.
Hamasaur says, and he turns and kind of walks off.
I guess I would follow him if that's what he was implying.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Okay. So, you all head into what seems to be another office, and you see the female Velaman in there, the same one that was on your view screen. She has the lightly colored hood, the same color patterns kind of on her shoulders. The whole room itself is a bright, inviting place, and you can kind of see on giant, large display screens or like wall screens throughout this office. You see numerous environments, and from what you would assume is their image feeds basically from the various terraces within this dome. Some are mere landscapes, some show beings of other species engaged in a range of like recreational activities, wholesome sports, nature walks, possibly like a lively nightclub, or there are hints at discreetly more risque pleasures. But they certainly have a bit of a promotional video feel to them, obviously to entice all of you. I'm going to switch to her voice, but if any point it becomes distorted or hard to understand, please let me know, and I'll switch back to normal GM here. So,
can you put her photo back up?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's
wow,
see.
Fucking terrible. Simply terrible.
There you go. Good? Okay, so, like I said, you guys all walk into her office.
Welcome, crew of the USS Surprise. You are all most welcome to the labor. We are open to all visitors, and we pride ourselves on having recreations and fulfillments to offer for every species in the galaxy. I imagine you are all skeptical, as many new visitors are.
I think we're not expecting to find such a place out here in this system.
You all are explorers, are you not?
This is true.
Yes.
Have you ever been to this system, or within the Shackleton Expanse itself?
We've been in the Expanse in a couple of situations, but not this deep. It's rather unexplored territory for the most part. I'm assuming Admiral, am I right? Maybe?
Yeah. Yep. That's why you guys are there. I do want to ask, how is everybody feeling right now? Like the character as you guys walk into this inviting, pleasurable this room, and the female and the other aliens on the outside. How do you guys feel? So
Curious.
I feel like I'm inebriated to some degree. I don't know. Like I'm overwhelmed in like a good way.
Kullat, Thrall, Kaval.
I'm enjoying the visuals. I'm very uncomfortable.
Yes, to quote both Kullat and Futurama, I am scaroused.
So,
Kullat is like just following along at this point, but he is not really enticed by anything, unless the smell powder is getting him to for some reason. But he's just more the same as he always is. Any situation, like he's curious, but in a what is this place kind of way, not a look at all the fun I could have.
Look at this Vulcan, guys.
The smell powder would be getting to you too as well, unless you're trying to actively just push that out of your Vulcan mind.
Just the opposite. He'd be, if he notices the effects, he'd be drawn to it in a sense of questioning it. You know, like he's not just giving into, oh, this is nice, this is a good feeling. He's, okay, well, what effect is this having on me? What is it? In fact, do I have a, I would have brought a tricorder.
Yeah.
So I would analyze what's in the air around us and what we're breathing in.
Okay. Reason and science, please. Difficulty of 2. As the commander whips out his tricorder, giggity. She kind of.
Whip it out.
Viscerasa, she kind of saunters on over to where Lieutenant Commander Kaval and Lieutenant Commander Thrall are standing, and she kind of grazes a finger across Thrall and stands next to Lieutenant Commander Kaval, and she says,
You both look like the men, the kind of men who enjoy visiting the females of Jabroni 4. The vacuum they create, with the tentacles on their hands, is most pleasurable.
Whoa! It's not even lunchtime yet, lady. Slow down.
Where do you get these people that come? Wait, hang on, no, wait.
Freezing.
Hang on. Like,
oh, red flag.
No, like, where do you get your volunteers?
Okay, all right.
I hope they're volunteers.
Okay, back to the voice.
Where do you get your help?
Many come here to work and to live. Our people are devoted to the philosophy that your people call the lemma. All beings should be free to pursue their every desire so long as they don't impose on any other freedoms or desire in so doing. The embrace of this philosophy has brought us peace, prosperity, and the friendship of many other civilizations who benefit from our hospitality.
Could I, while they were talking, maybe on my tricorder, look up Thelema and learn about that if that's in the databases the Federation has?
Yeah, so give me a computers and security difficulty of 1. Commander Kullat, your role on the tricorder. So it's reading normal atmosphere for your humanoid species. The odor that is permeating in the air is just showing up in your tricorder as whatever substances might be causing you. So like if for you it was pine and woodsy type odors and smells are permeating or being detected on this tricorder. So all of those scientific chemical smell things that are being detected are showing up. So it all looks normal to you. It just looks like something that is causing a smell.
I'm sorry, did you say control and security?
My
role?
Yes, I did, please.
Okay.
I accidentally looked at the ships. But yeah, control and security. Okay. So you said you were looking up information about
You're cutting out real bad now.
Yeah.
How about now?
We couldn't hear you.
How about?
Yeah,
How
just
about? I'm sorry. I make fun of you, but yeah.
That didn't come through.
We
at
good?
Yeah.
You guys can hear me now?
Voice mod doing something.
I can't hear you at all.
Oh,
I can hear you on stream, but I can't hear you on Skype.
Let me see.
Wait a second. That background noise, is that somebody screaming?
The ambience.
Yeah.
It is, but it's not supposed to be playing.
Hey, I mean, there's some people. I mean, no king shaming. All right.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be concerned?
No, hang on one second. Let me fix my settings. Where's my microphone? Okay. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah, that seems fine now.
Okay.
Yeah,
one more thing. Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. I'm not
Yep,
sure.
so far.
It might be voice mod. We'll keep going with it and see if it happens again. Sorry, Lieutenant Grax, you were looking up information on the philosophy, you said?
Yeah. What is Thelema? Who founded it? She said, your peoples, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I know, but I want to make sure that Andal knows before I say anything. And that it's the same in Star Trek.
Okay. So when you look that up, it is confirming what you're saying. So do you want me to say it for you, or do you want to say it?
Sure. Yeah, go
Okay.
for it, since you might be able to explain it better. You
Yeah.
might have a prompt in front of you.
So the Earth-like philosophy of the Lema, it was kind of like a pseudo-religious philosophy developed by an Aleister Crowley. Its premise was, do what thou wilt, be the whole of the law. Basically, the highest moral law is allowing all people to pursue their own calling and desire, free of restrictions.
Yep. So I would probably be reading that on the tricorder as everyone's talking, and I would say, I'm sorry, Viscerasa, was it? Are you saying that this whole ship is run by the human philosophy, the belief system of Thelema from the 20th century?
That is correct, Lieutenant.
Interesting. And who built this ship?
They were our ancestors several thousand years ago. You may wonder how we know this information about your planet, or perhaps your Federation. As I stated, we have plenty of guests that come and offer us gifts in return. That includes the resources we needed to construct this miniature world, along with the information and the education that we share. That is also a pleasure, if you will, that is offered on here. The exchange of information.
Like cheeseburgers.
Yeah. Is the captain still standing there holding a cheeseburger and whatever other food?
I just brought it along in the to-go boxes. Yeah.
So-
Here are these gifts of food. Please partake. I thought this would be a nice gesture. I find food very pleasurable myself. I laugh.
Thank
like,
you, Captain
nervously.
Maricadi. We will certainly try your... See,
She looks down and she says,
your food.
Good.
So, Admiral, this is not a this is not a planetoid or a stationary body. This is an actual ship with a star drive, a warp core, and
so it's
all that
kind of
good
like, you didn't, I'll show you the picture that came up on the screen that your science officer didn't share.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was
Yeah,
low, man.
wasn't it?
Low,
let's
man.
see. So I will show you. Let's find it here. That. Show all players. So you guys see it?
oh, okay.
That's kind of what it looks like. And I'll show our audience.
As an engineer, as a ship's engineer, I'm intrigued. I now have an interest in the engines. I'd like to see the systems that maintain this biosphere.
We can certainly let you into some areas. Absolutely. As I stated, it is our desire to make sure your trip and your stay here is most pleasurable, Lieutenant Commander.
That would be very pleasurable, yes.
And is there a cost to these services? Gold-pressed platinum, perhaps?
There is no cost. We just ask that you enjoy yourselves. And if you are not, please find one of the federal servants along the terrace that you are occupying and explain to them what is wrong so we can correct this issue.
And would we address you as the captain of this vessel?
I am the director.
The director?
Are you a part of the offerings, Director?
Wow.
She's cute. Sorry.
She smiles, and she leaves the side of Lieutenant Commander Caval and TAC Thrall, and she comes over to the captain, and a hand lightly grazes your leg or your outer thigh, and she says,
We only just met, Captain. Well, I'm sure something can be arranged.
Well, I did bring you dinner.
Dinner does not
Now have
equal
a-
consent, Captain.
Oh, good. Well, that's okay. You know what?
We have filled your pockets with spaghetti. What is the problem?
What is the problem? Oh man.
any other
Ancient Earth
questions?
Italians would be furious with your rebuke.
Captain, what are your orders? Are we here on business?
My orders are at ease, Lieutenant.
She looks at you and she says,
So, am I to understand, Captain, that you will be granting your crew shore leave?
What'd you say? Sorry. Speaking to my good ear.
did that not go through?
It did a little bit. It was just a little garbled. I didn't know.
Okay. She was asking if you were planning to grant your crew's shore leave.
Oh, yeah. If we have plenty of room for the rest of our crew, absolutely, we can grant some shore leave here.
So she looks at all of you and she says,
That can be arranged. I would suggest that you leave crew on your vessel. It's coming from a director's point of view and wanting to make sure your vessel is safe and secure. As it is not docked with our facility, we are not responsible for it. As you can see, there are thousands of aliens and species that are with us. And
She looks at you, Captain, then is pretty direct.
Captain, you surely have noted that the Lema is two separate halves. The light phase, it's going to be for indulging those pleasures that harm no one, or that miss injury only to oneself. But the dark phase, and I warn you, if you allow your crew to go there are those who find pleasure and fulfillment in combat or violence, even taking the life or gambling one own. The dark phase is where such desires can be freely pursued, for those only who accept the danger are allowed to enter.
Huh.
Did you understand all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a bad side to this. There's like the dark elf side from Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, but you have to go there willingly. You don't get forced there.
Cabal's in a light sprint.
He's running to the dark side entrance.
Dark engines. He wants to learn their dark engineering.
I mean, I might have opinions on that, but I'm on shore leave, so.
No, I was saying Cabal is not Kullat. I'm not.
Oh, Cabal. You're saying
our
Cabal.
Andorian is.
Yeah, gotcha. I don't think we're gonna allow our crew to go to the black side, but we're gonna stay on the good side. On the light side versus the dark side. Is it like the moon in terms of like, is it always like pitch black?
It is always darker on the dark side.
Is there no lights at all, or is it like lit up?
No,
by
there's some light. It's just not as much, and they are able to manipulate this dome so that the light side tends to focus on the star, the red dwarf that's in the system.
Gotcha.
Got mood lighting.
I was thinking like pitch black, like with Vin Diesel type.
Basically, just mood lighting, like the doctor said, like the
Just to
good
set the
doctor
mood.
said.
Set the mood for killing.
Mhm.
All right. So, we'll be sure to restrict access to our crew. I don't. Jeez. That's not a good place. It's not like a good place.
Captain, if it's more comfortable, perhaps you return to your ship and discuss it over with your officers, and then contact me when you are ready.
Very good.
Do you happen to have some sort of map or directory that we can see all of the offerings available upon Thelema?
Do you have any brochures?
Yes.
Or a catalog.
We can arrange for some data packets to be sent over to your ship, of course.
Thank you. And this whole time, I don't think I asked this yet. What kind of feelings am I picking out from her? Is it all?
Oh, it's all
benevolent
pleasure
for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, especially when she had sauntered over to the lieutenant commanders and then over to the captain themselves. It was all pleasure, all hot and bothered, not only personally but on a professional level. She's there to ensure that you all enjoy yourselves.
Okay.
And after she had said all that, it was kind of like an offer to go back to your ship. So if you would like to take that, or
Yeah, we're going back to the ship.
Okay.
Let's go back to the ship.
Yeah. So you're led back to the ship. I assume you want all your brass in the ready room?
Yes. If you're in brass, you're in the ready room.
So the flight back up was uneventful. We made it to the shuttle.
Yep. Nothing happened. It was basically just like you came in. Smell goods on the way in. Hamasor did not escort you this time. One of the other servants, well-oiled servants, did as well. And they just escorted you off and back to your shuttle, and with no issue.
The first thing I ask is the lieutenant: is there any change in our physical condition, in our emotional, molecular level scans?
So go ahead and find me a one of these supporting characters real quick, Caval, and it's going to be under engineering, so you can use Ensign Moore, who's it, Lieutenant Eel, or Petty Officer Kingsley to make this role. But it's basically going to be a reason and engineering difficulty 1, because this is going to be your transporter officer checking the logs to see if there's anything different or altered.
Oh, okay. Let's see. More supporting characters. Engineering. More. Okay. And what did you say it was?
It's going to be reason and engineering, difficulty 1.
Reason and engineering. Okay, perform task. What does he have for focuses? Neural net processing systems, AI, cognitive sciences and humanities. Oh, come on, that's got to be good. Can I use that as a focus?
If you can tell me how cognitive sciences and humanities would fit, you can use it. No
okay,
pressure,
what
though.
about neural net processor systems? Nah, okay, fine. I'll just.
That's more computers and computer chips and such. So, Ensign Moore is looking through the log, and he kind of brings you on over, offers you to come over, and he points to the screen. He says, "Everything's as it was before you left, Lieutenant Commander."
Lieutenant Grax, were we under the influence of any sort of planetary fauna or flora?
It's a good question. Not that I've noticed, but let me take some scans. And I would actually, I don't know if we have something nearby I can do this with, or if I need to go to the med bay, or if I can just use my tricorder, but basically just scan like my clothing and skin and see if there's any like spores or remaining material that we picked up while we were
So
down
as
there.
a doctor, you would always have your medical tricorder with you. So give me a reason and medicine difficulty of 2, please.
Reason and medicine. And can I use infectious diseases as a focus?
Absolutely.
All I'm saying is we have an advanced sick bay, so that's all I'm saying.
You guys have 2 momentum.
We do.
Oh, yeah, I'll use that to get rid of the complication if no one cares.
Okay. So, let's see here. You run your tricorder, and you do it on every single person. And I guess I'll let you explain to me how you do this and what's going on. But you find no issues, no trace, no biological agents, no mind-altering substances. Everything seems fine. Nobody's sick, nobody's going to be sick, and nobody was being manipulated.
Okay. Yeah, so it's take a few minutes to scan over everyone and just report. Well, I'm not finding any foreign substances. Nothing here is out of order. They seem to mean well. I didn't pick up any sort of malignant feelings from them while we were down there.
Good. May this finally be the break we're all seeking?
It is a rather strange place, but this could be.
Anyone else have any thoughts or concerns before we approve the shore leave?
I have reservations, Captain.
Go ahead.
What? It still wasn't made clear, I felt, what it is they're getting out of this. There must be some motivator.
And it appears to be some sort of influence from 20th century, 21st century human history. I mean, that's where they founded this belief system off of, and which they perpetuate throughout the dome. This belief system that gives them this purpose to do what they do and offer what they offer. So, you know.
So is this a religion for them?
Right. The question is, well, why? Why?
At what point do they need to make the ritual sacrifices to appease the pleasure gods?
Well, according to this reading that I found in the Federation databases on Thelema, there's no such rituals or gods, but being that it's been out here in the system for so long, they may have developed their own branch of beliefs. So we may want to be wary of such things.
Just doesn't seem right, Captain. Something about this just seems wrong.
I don't know if anything really seems wrong. It just is hard to believe, hard to trust. But I mean, we've faced plenty of actual threats and actual perils. Yet may this finally be the other side of the galaxy we have yet to explore.
Captain, may I recommend that we do not send all senior command staff down at the same time? That any shore leave is done in shifts, small groups.
I like that idea.
Start with the less valuable members first.
No, we don't. This is Starfleet.
No,
Although I appreciate the humor, right now we're trying to be serious, okay? So can you get it together?
Sorry, sir.
No, but that's a great idea. We should send out in shifts just like we do now. Beyond that, is there anything else we can do to keep safe? Any ideas that anyone else wants to like to share or further reservations?
Rubber.
We really? Very good. So, I don't think we've used rubber for quite some time, but anyway.
Lambskins, perhaps?
Yeah.
Intestines?
That's what we use.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Other than that, I say we're ready to prove shore leave. We'll start sending out schedules, and well, let's give this crew a nice break, and hopefully, I'm sure it'll be safe. We'll be fine. We'll have a good time. Please enjoy yourself.
So, Captain, you're issuing shore leave to the ship. So who gets to go first? Because I'm gonna try and squeeze something in here before Lieutenant Commander Gaval has to dip out, and then we will end the stream.
Sorry, I'm supposed to say something last minute.
No. Who gets to go on the first round down to the planet?
First round. Let's send our. Let's do it how we've been doing it. We'll send our. I like our team that we had now. I know we said don't send all the senior staff down at once. So why don't we do me, Andal, and Kaval, and then Kullat, Tech, Thrall, and Noct. The Klingon that we have as well.
Okay. Is that good with everybody else?
Sure.
Kind of arbitrary, but
Okay. So then I assume you guys are gonna head down again one more time. You know, the crew that is going first, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you all enter the Lamo through the rim once again. It's the same view like before, like that at the docking bay. Your platform stands vertically on edge as you kind of look in towards the disk, and gravity holds you there. However, the tram takes you to a different area this time. And as it stops, it's a grand, almost entranceway. More Thalaman staff stand around, well-oiled. They all look magnificent and visually pleasing all over the place. The one does kind of escort you in, and you see basically like a bunch of doors just lined up. And as he escorts you in, he kind of points each of you to one of the doors, and he states, "We ask that you each line up behind a doorway, as only one may enter at a time." And as you're walking up to these doors, there's a large holographic disclaimer kind of floating nearby, spelling out the options of the light and dark faces, and clearly stating the risks of the dark face, and stressing that no one should enter there unless they're sincerely and explicitly consent to risk of life and limb.
I'll step up to a door.
Everybody else doing the same?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So the door opens, and it's just a small room. There's two doors on your left and your right. You guys walking in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The door shuts behind you guys, and as it does, the whole room starts to fade and kind of glow. And this is happening for all three of you at this current moment. And at one point, the door to the right, it opens up for the captain. Captain, are you walking through?
Yes.
Okay. So as you walk through that doorway, a little skiff kind of takes off, and you feel a little bit of heavy gravity, or like a heavy pull due to the low gravity. But as you get closer to a terrace, it starts to lighten up and feel normal to you. But as you land, everything looks bright and inviting, almost like a resort would. And it allows you to step off. Lieutenant Grax and Lieutenant Cavall. The lights for you, again, kind of fade and glow in the whole room. And yours seem to be taking an extra minute. You're unsure why. Quickly, none of the doors actually open up for you. And you both suddenly feel a sharp electrical pain as you're immediately struck with an energy blast and fall unconscious.
Nice.
And that's where we end for the evening.
I
knew it.
Sons of bitches.
They're gonna make me work here, aren't they?
Oh no!
So that is where we'll end. And since Lieutenant Cavall
Oil
has to,
sprays from a head in the ceiling.
since Lieutenant Commander Cavall has to leave first, and pretty quickly, we'll let him go first. Thoughts so far, Lieutenant Commander?
None, because I'm unconscious.
But I'm
Wow.
Got him.
I had my doubts. I expressed them to the captain.
It's basically
we
saying
have...
I told you so.
There you
Yeah,
go.
what the fuck happened, dude?
Did we have any armaments at all? Anything?
I'm
Personal
fine.
weapons or phasers, or I presume we didn't take phasers down to a pleasure planet, but personal
They would've-
armaments.
Yeah, they would have allowed your like tricorders and such. Sure.
Yeah,
but,
I'm talking
no
about
weapons,
armaments, like my ice knife. I could say it was a cultural requirement.
If that's what you were saying, they would have allowed it. But they would have been explicit in their
Man, I
their
got
nature
this Glock
that
here.
that as you were on the light side that
Historical artifact.
that is not used in a hostile manner.
Oh yeah, but it's okay to zap me unconscious. That's okay on the light side, huh? All right, this was fun. I gotta drop. I gotta bounce. I'll see you guys later.
Have a good evening, sir.
See ya.
And we'll go up to our captain, who has been whisked off into a different area himself so far.
I'm gonna have fun.
What are your thoughts?
Lame. I'm thinking this is a huge success, and this is gonna be a blast. So, I have no idea what just happened to my crewmates, obviously, and I've been obviously uptight this trip, so I'm ready to relax and hang out, even just with or without the crew. Obviously, if I knew that the crew was at risk here, this would bring me, I'd be motivated to help them, but I have no idea. So.
Correct. And on over to our science officer, who is on board the surprise as his other crew members get to go first.
Kullat's also got some doubts, kind of like Cabal said. His stem from, nothing. There's no such thing as a free lunch. I mean, that's economy as opposed to hard science, but what's in it for them to provide this to people without charge? So he's up there studying what he can from the ship.
Onwards to Lieutenant Commander Thrall. Sir, what is going through your mind?
I sympathize with the rest of the crew who want a nice, relaxing vacation. However, I'd like to just get back into space. I hope they have a good time down there.
And on to our doctor, Lieutenant Grax.
So Andel's one of his values is that he's idealistic. So he's been giving them the benefit of the doubt and kind of hoping that this is in fact just a place where people can live out whatever pleasures they want, and that there's nothing darker going on here. But seems that's not the case, and now he's unconscious.
I guess we'll see what happens next time, which should be here in February. Next Tuesday we have Mecha and Monsters, correct?
Yes, that's the
okay.
plan.
So that's on the 7th. So our next game will be February 14th. February 14th, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on with Tabletop Anthologies this week? Let me see here. So we have Old School Essentials. Saturday, the 4th,
Saturday.
correct?
Yeah.
9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Eastern?
Yes.
Okay. And Captain Maricadi, Tabletop Tony, are you guys doing your Avatar Session 0?
We'll see about this coming Sunday, the 5th. I'm thinking we're going to be doing the Session 0 for the first boys on the 5th and the second boys on the 8th, but we'll see what goes on with as far as like templates and art and stuff that comes through. Either way, we're going to meet with the players, but it just depends on if the streaming assets get through. If we decide to start the stream yet, but otherwise, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So 2 different eras, 2 different DMs, 2 different parties. They're going to impact each other throughout. But we're going to start off some one-shots, get everybody acclimated to the game, and see how it plays. So.
Awesome. With that, the stream is over. We're going to go raid real quick. If you guys want to stick around and follow us over to the raid. I appreciate everybody, Preacher and Judge Wolf, for the bonus die that is still there to be used, and to Tex for the follow and hanging out. Scud, thanks for hanging out as well and chatting with everybody. Appreciate it. So with that, we're going to go
Thanks, Scud.
raid and live long and prosper, everybody. Oh, come on, transition. There we are. Bye. Have a beautiful time.